So why is it when women don't get their way with the man that they've been dating and have been married to for so long and created children with? Why is it that when women get mad and want to leave the man or they don't get their way, the man becomes lame? How he was so great in the beginning and even in the middle part of the relationship. Y'all had a child together. Y'all established and created a relationship. He was so great and he did all these things for you. Now, honestly, this makes me think of the Remy Ma and Papoose situation, honestly, because I've been watching it, but I never really spoke on it too much. But it just makes me think of that because they were the epitome of black love. You know, everybody was like black love. Everybody was rooting for them, loving them together. And now all of a sudden that they're divorced and he's moved on, now he's a lame and he's a weirdo and he's all of these things. And you have a child with this man. So this was somebody that you once loved and had, you say you loved him and he was good and he held you down from prison and all of these things. And now all of a sudden he's such a weirdo and a lame and he's not perfect and he's not this and he's not that. When my question is always, when did he become that lame? At what point? When you didn't get your way? When, whatever happened in the relationship, all of a sudden he's a lame and he's a weirdo? I mean, did you feel this way about him from the beginning? That's the questions that I have. And I know, listen, being in a marriage like myself and being with somebody for a long time, you're going to have obstacles in your marriage. And you're going to have obstacles in your relationship. But if that's the person that you say you love and committed to, y'all work through the issues. All of a sudden, out of the blue, they just flip up and just become something totally different. This is the scenario that I hear from a lot of women. A lot of women are always saying, oh, well, he flipped up after I had 3-4 kids. All of a sudden he changed. He just drastically changed. And I just don't understand it. And I understand in relationships, people change, but you work through those changes. You work through those issues. And why is it always that the men flip up out the blue and they change and they become narcissists and they become lames and they become all of these things, but the women, y'all just stay the same? Y'all don't change? And I know that's not true because I hear women say that they change, but when they change, it's for the better. It's always a growth when the women change. Or they change, I learned myself, now I'm doing better. It's never a negative connotation when the women change, but it's always negative for the men. There's always that excuse when the relationship falls apart that he changed, he just flipped up, he became this. And all throughout the relationship, you as the woman, you was just stagnant. You was the same loving woman in the beginning who supported your man. You never did nothing wrong. You never switched up. You just was so pristine and no issues. Y'all know that's not the truth. Y'all know that's a goddamn lie. But this is what's always being portrayed. This is why it's so weird to me. Look, I've been married a long time. And I know I have not been the most pristine with no flaws in a relationship. No, that would be asinine to think because we're human beings and we are all flawed. I'm not perfect. He's not perfect. But when it comes to relationships, the women tend to always make themselves be the innocent bystanders and the victims. We make no mistakes. We're perfect. And he's all the problem. He's so catastrophic. But he's been holding you down. He's been taking care of you. He's been there for you the whole time. He didn't leave. But now you feel you can do better and you think that the grass is green on the other side. So you try to go over to the other side. And when you get to the other side, you realize, oh, well, it's not as good as I thought it was. And now you're mad at that person for moving on. Baby, you can't have your cake and eat it too. You got to figure out what it is that you want and you got to stick to it. You got to pick something and you got to stick with it because you're going to end up with nothing. And that's typically what happened. A lot of these women end up with nothing, complaining, playing the victim. You can't be the victim and the victor. You can't have it all. You got to start taking some accountability. And I'm not saying that men don't have issues. Yeah, men have issues. But women do too. And so many women make it seem like, oh, the women are victimless. We're just perfect. We don't do no wrong. Child, y'all got to stop the cap. If they make mistakes and they mess up, so do you. So both of y'all are flawed. So work on it or just keep it moving. And yeah, we just got to stop this idea that women don't make mistakes, that women don't lie, women don't do shit. Y'all just so great and perfect. And that's just, y'all stop lying. Stop lying.